I want to start now in Huntington, Utah, and Megan Kelly back there again. Megan, what's the headline this morning?
Hi there, Bill. Yeah, the search continues. Hope is dwindling, but it is not lost. They still believe they might find these 6 miners alive, although the effort has proven difficult and even more difficult by the day. The late news last night was that they are back to square one. The 300 feet of progress they had made in drilling into this mine to get to these miners was lost when some sort of seismic event, some ground shift or swell, basically eliminated all of that progress. So now they have got to start back at square one, and they are doing that in earnest in several different ways. In the meantime, Bill, we've just had breaking news out of Washington. President Bush has apparently called the governor of this state, Governor Huntsman, and told him that the White House and the nation offers its continued support. And that's a message that the governor has gotten from every lawmaker in the state and several others from around the country this morning, Bill. He was here yesterday touring the scene and made clear that all resources are being devoted to rescuing these 6 men, trying to help them. Although the effort has been, they don't believe that they'll be able to reach the men now for at least a week, that according to the mine owner. They do believe that within perhaps as early as the next day, perhaps 2 days, they'll be able to reach the men via a hole that they are drilling in order to communicate with them. So they won't be able to physically get to the men for 6 days. They do believe they'll be able to at least get air to them or communicate with them if they are still alive. So it is 1 step forward, 2 steps back, and the process of getting to those men has been agonizingly slow for all of those working on it, and in particular for the mine owner, Bob Murray, who has been very frustrated. Joining us now is Utah Congressman Chris Cannon, who sits on the House Natural Resources Committee. Congressman, welcome back to America's Newsroom. There were several lawmakers out here touring the scene yesterday, and they made clear they believe everything is being done that can be done to rescue these men, but hope does seem to be dwindling a bit. What are you hearing about it from your context, Congressman?
Well, this clearly the setback with the recent seismic events and the instability of the tunnel are terrifically important, and that's got to be a terrible, shocking blow to the families, and of course, if you're in the mine itself and alive, which we pray is the case, this has got to be a very difficult thing. Hearing those popping sounds that happen in a coal mine and recognizing what that means. So we're hoping virtually every resource possible has been brought to bear here, let me say, and it's complicated. It's a complicated mine setting. It's a complicated geology, but we're hoping that we can get in there and get through to them within, the week is sort of the outside, I think, given the nature of what they're doing, but we hope it's significantly before that.
And Congressman, one of the big debates here on scene is whether this whole thing was caused by an earthquake or not. Excuse me, as some of the equipment goes by. But whether this was caused by an earthquake or not, most of our viewers heard the mine owner yesterday, Bob Murray, he owns half the mine, emphatic that this was an earthquake, it was a natural disaster, but now the U.S. Geological Survey is saying we don't know that yet, and in fact, all data, according to them, suggests this was just a mine collapse and not an earthquake. What are you hearing?
Well, the data are clearly unclear at this point, and frankly, look, Bob Murray is a wonderful guy. He's a guy I've known for a long time, and one of his competitors yesterday told me that he is the best underground coal miner in the country. That's high praise, and these are his friends and his employees, and of course he's been very concerned about it, very uptight, and that said, it doesn't matter what caused it. We'll know that within a week or so. It'll take some time to sort through the data. And there's continuing activity, and of course there's continuing activity in the mine. The causality is, I think, unknown at this point, or at least it's not clear. But there is clearly a question about it. So what we're hoping is that we can get the stability there with this. You've got this very rigid sandstone roof that puts pressure on the pillars, and those pillars are clearly collapsing. That's what I think slowed down the progress that you talked about earlier. And so
right.
Whether it's caused by a seismic activity elsewhere or the activity in the mine, it's dangerous in the mine, and we need to operate with care to get in there and get those people out as quickly as possible.
Understood. Congressman Cannon, thank you so much. And Bill, that
Pleasure,
man we've been talking about, Bob Murray, 67 years old, half owner of this mine. He is a lot of things, and he has been quite a media spectacle in this case from the beginning. But one thing you can say about him for sure is he is doing everything humanly possible to get to those 6 trapped miners.